feel like I got to dance with my hand. Gotta get my groove on. Those of you that were here yesterday when we were doing the jewel loom, I explained the hand thing. And also, it's kind of an inside joke of the retreat if you've not yet seen the little hands pop up. So, hey, everybody, it's Erin Reed, and we are back for the 2024 Virtual Makers Retreat. And we have another amazing sponsor and also a very personal friend of mine joining us today. So, I'm going to bring on Cassandra Louise. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey. And she is here representing herself, but also to chit chat with us about graphics. And so I'm going to give you the floor. I want you to introduce yourself and then tell us, what is this graphics thing that has been popping up here and there and is also one of our sponsors for the retreats. All right, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here. This retreat has been amazing. The in-person was fantastic. The virtual is equally fantastic. So much information and really great interaction. I love seeing everyone's projects in the Facebook group. I was just speaking in there a little while ago, so thanks for sharing all that. So my name is Cassandra Louise. You can call me Cassie, and I've been working with graphics products for a very long time, and working with them to create YouTube tutorials and just project content for them for several years. And I hope that I get to work with them forever because I love the product. I love the people. It's a family-owned business, and they are fantastic humans, and that is really important to me as well. And they make fantastic products. So Grafix is a company that makes creative plastic films that you can use for different things, and they have so many different products. I'm going to touch on just a few today, and I have some samples to show you, but please ask questions as we're going. If you have a question about something specific I'm talking about or just in general, Erin will watch those for me and let me know when those come in. But I'm just going to dig in and start talking about the products because I'm
My
so
eyes
excited.
on the
I get
comment.
fired up.
Watching.
Yeah, I get fired up when we're talking about graphics because I literally use it every time I sit down to make anything. I'm using something from them because they have such a wide range of products and it's really great quality. It's versatile. You can use it on so many different mediums. And as a mixed media artist and art journaler, really like sky's the limit for what you can do with their stuff. So I'm just going to dig in and start talking. Okay. So the first thing I want to talk about is computer graphics. And that's something that I don't see a lot of people talking about, and I wanted to use in this retreat. So if you are a ticket holder for the retreat and you got a kit, you will have some of this product in your hand, which is amazing. If I can show you, we made in one of
And
the
they're
classes
in
we made
two of your classes, correct? You are
yeah,
using
they
it,
are
but
in two of
two
my
different
classes. Yep.
forms of computer
Yeah.
graphics, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's right. Yeah. So one of them is this clear computer graphics, excuse me, and it just creates a nice layer. So we decorated this nice tag. We did some fun techniques using gel plates and stencils and stuff. And then there's this layer over it. And this is my art that I printed onto this computer graphics. This is the clear, non-adhesive version, and it prints in your inkjet printer, which is amazing because oftentimes if something is going to print on like a plasticky film type thing like this, sometimes they want you to use a laser printer. Not everyone has that. So Grafix has a version for inkjet printer, and it's amazing. And so of course you could do color, black and white, whatever. So this is another example. This is just has this like iron. Was a photograph I made into a graphic. Another
So
one.
just to ask a quick question,
Yeah.
inkjet, but not toner. So this is not the
Yeah.
foiling technique. It has to be an inkjet printer.
Right. So they do have a
Okay.
version of this film for toner, but
Oh,
they have several different versions of this. So they have, this is the clear, you can see this is clear, but they also have a matte version. And I can show you that right now too. They have a matte version and a clear version. And then they have, in the clear, they have non-adhesive backed and adhesive backed, depending on what kind of project you're doing. It's very helpful. And then for the matte version, they have the same thing. And then there is one version of it that does have, it can be used on a laser printer. So most of them are for inkjet, but there is a version for laser. Cassie, where would the computer
so we do
graphics
have a
be available? Yeah.
question. Where can you find it? Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
that's a
trying to
great
help you so
question.
that way you weren't like, I can't see.
That's okay. I have progressive. Is that right? When you have two different prescriptions on top and bottom. Anyway, I have old lady eyes, so I have to like do this to read, and it's kind of awkward. So anyway, yes. So
Oops,
graphics
wrong
products
one, wrong one. Sorry about that.
you can get graphics. So in like shops in like brick and mortar, definitely Hobby Lobby and Michaels and Joann's carries it. If you are lucky enough to have an independent craft store near you, I would go check them out. And if they don't have it, you need to tell them to get it. And if they're like, yeah, but we don't know what to do with it, then you say, call Cassie and she'll come teach a class for you, because I can teach you all the things about graphics and I love to do it. So that's what you should do. But online, you can also get it at Amazon. Dick Blick has it. Joggles has a few things, but also you can also go to grafixarts.com. So it's grafixarts.com. And you can go to, there's a tab called How to Buy, I think it says. And then you go there, you put your zip code in, and it will tell you all the online stores and all the local stores within, a certain radius of where you live, where you can buy the product. So when in doubt, you can go to Grafix website and ask. I love the clear adhesive back for making words to add to cards and pages. This way they say what I want. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the great part about this computer graphics. Well, here I have some other samples to show you. These are photographs I took when I was in New York earlier this year. And I made them into black and white images and put them on computer graphics. So check that out. So now what you can do with this, let me put these down here. So let me just show you. This is actually clear. It's just got a piece of backing on it to protect, because this is the adhesive backed one, but can you see? All right, so you can see my face through here. How cool is this? So then what I did, and you can go watch this video to see how I made this on YouTube. Grafix has a YouTube channel, and so do I. Mine is Cassandra Louise, and Grafix is Grafix Arts. So you can go check that out. There's tons and tons and tons of great projects and things. But anyway, this is one thing I made. So the black print is that computer graphics, the clear adhesive backed, and then all of this color behind here. I just did swatches, like swipes of color with my favorite colors on opaque craft plastic, which I'll show you in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then you can make art to hang on your wall. So really, really fun, super versatile. You could print photos of your family. We're making journals this week, right? So what if you made like a journal for someone for Christmas, or like a photo album type thing, and you printed their photos on the clear, and then you layered them on top of other things. You can print in color or black and white. It's extremely versatile. The other thing I was starting to show you, I really want to show you here, is a couple of years ago for Creativation, we sometimes make gifts to give to each other. And I made this notebook using my cinch, right? And there's some fun paper in here, excuse me, but the cover, oops, right here, says you can change the world, girl. And you can see it's the clear computer graphics, and it's printed in color. And look at how professional and fantastic that looks. Super awesome. So I love computer graphics. Really, we should all be using it every day, is my opinion. Anyway, moving on to other products, because there's so many things to talk about. I want to talk about my two most favorite products, but I do see a question. What about my Cricut Maker? Can I use that? 100% you can. Here we go. Thank you for asking that. So this word says transform. Here it is. And you can see it's got like a pattern in it, right? And then there's a layered piece behind that. This is an SVG that I made, and this was my word of the year, I think, for 2023. So this pink and turquoise, this is wet media Duralar, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And I use this on my gel plate. So if you have your gel plate that you got in your kit, or if you have one already, definitely use graphics materials on your gel plate. It's amazing. And then I layered it onto matte Duralar, which we'll also talk about, which is this frosty kind of piece behind it. But these were both cut with my Cricut. So you 100% can cut with your Cricut. I also recently got a laser cutter, and it's a diode one. And Grafix has laser cuttable stencil material. Where's my stencils? Anyway, they have laser laser cuttable stencil material that you can also use if you have that. So you can cut stencils with your Cricut as well, with their materials, but definitely your Cricut can be used for anything I'm talking about, except for maybe, well, actually you probably could, but there's a really thick clear acetate that, or plastic that I'm not sure if you could cut that because it's pretty thick, but otherwise everything is fair game. Okay, so that was a great question. So next I'm going to talk about journals because I love journals, and Grafix has a couple different kinds of journals that have all the materials that I love to play with so much. And so I often will have these around so that I can grab a sheet of whatever and create on it and then make it into a journal later, right? So these are called mixed media journals, and this is a 6x9, and they also have a 6x6. So they have two different sizes. Here we go. Sorry. There we go. And so square and rectangle, and they have an assortment of materials inside them. So really quick, they have clear Duralar, matte Duralar, wet media, and then opaque craft plastic, and then chipboard for the covers. Oh, we have another question, sorry. What material would you use on Cricut to make Stencil 3? So I think you're asking like what material setting on your Cricut. It varies. Obviously, all Cricuts are a little different. And let's see, I've been cutting stencil material on a Cricut for many years now, and I have tried so many different settings, and it depends on which Cricut you have and what update they have out. So I just want to say that to start. I have had success, honestly, with heavy duty cardstock, believe it or not. But I would say do some testing. Start with that. You can try the Mylar setting or the plastic sheet setting. Sometimes those aren't quite thick enough. So you just need to play with it. But heavy cardstock actually has worked pretty well for me over the years. So I hope that answers your question. So the mixed media journals are fantastic because you get all of the materials in them. Okay. So before I go there, let me just introduce the wet media Duralar and the matte Duralar first, and then I'll show you the journals. I'm getting excited and I'm getting ahead of myself because I love it so much, and I could literally just sit here and talk to you all day about Grafix products. So first I want to talk about, it's called two-sided matte film, but it's Duralar. Duralar is one of their lines, and this and the wet media Duralar are probably my favorite products. It's hard to say favorite because I really love all of it, but you can do so much on these pads. So I'm going to tear one sheet out here just so I can show you. So matte Duralar is frosty. You can see it's really smooth. It's plastic, right? So you can't tear it. You know, you can run it through your Cricut, like I showed you. You can cut things out of it. You can heat emboss it. It's heat resistant. You can watercolor on this. You can use alcohol ink. You can stamp on it. You can paint on it. You can use it on your gel plate. Ask me anything. You can use just about anything on here, and it's amazing, and it gives you just that nice frosty feel. It almost looks like vellum, okay, but it's definitely not. It's got a special coating on it so that you can use all of your different mixed media products on top of it. I've used like pastes and gels on top, and it doesn't buckle and warp. It stays nice and clear and flat. Yeah, you can build 3D things out of this. If you go to the Grafix YouTube page and check it out, the channel, excuse me, you're going to see so many projects. People make jewelry out of it. One year, I used the wet media Duralar with canvas. So I had untreated canvas on a roll, and I have these really nice watercolor brushes that I wanted to make like a travel roll for them to keep them protected. And so I painted on the canvas and decorated the fabric. And then I took this wet media Duralar, which is just clear. Let me show it to you. And I think I used it with the gel plate. It's been a couple of years now, so I can't remember exactly. But I did something on it, and I made like a little window in my thing. And then I sewed it onto the fabric. So you can sew through this. Now this has This is wet media Duralar, and again, you can watercolor on this, you can stamp on it, use your Posca pens, whatever. You can do all the things, right? Alcohol ink is amazing on this. This has a tissue paper in between each sheet just to protect it, but it's completely clear, as you can see. Okay, so this is wet media Duralar. Can you die cut it? Yes, 100%. Thank you for asking, Rhonda. That's a great question. You can die cut it. Yes, you absolutely can. So anyway, so let me show you some samples. So that's wet media Duralar and matte Duralar. And the reason I love them both is sometimes you want something clear so you can see through it. And sometimes you want that matte finish so you just get like a little bit of a different feel. And it's just amazing. This is one of the 6x9 books. I've only done a couple pages in here, but you can see this is the matte Duralar. If I just take this one sheet, let's see, you can sort of see my hand through there, right? But not really. And it still has that nice feel. And this is, I think the paint I used on here was what's that new So Flat? Is that golden? I think golden's, I'm pretty sure this is golden So Flat. And this is my stencil designs. And I just painted on here and then I did some Posca stuff. And then look on the back, this is another one of my stencils. And I just did that. And then this is the white craft plastic. So we haven't talked about this yet, and I'm running out of time. So I need to tell you about opaque craft plastic too. Oh, hold on. Matte Duralar. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Matte Duralar. And if I show you the packaging one more time, it comes in different sizes. This I think is 9x12. Yep. Comes in 11x14. It also comes on a roll. So you can get a whole big roll of it. It's not opaque, it's kind of translucent. So if I show you this, oh, that's gonna fall, hold on. If I show you this bigger piece, okay, you can, I mean, you know, you can sort of see through, but not really, right? So I would say it's like a milky, kind of finish, slightly translucent.
Kind of frosted.
Frosted, yeah, it definitely is. If you go to my YouTube channel, Cassandra Louise Designs, I do have a project that I did. I can't remember if I did it this spring or summer, but I covered. So I have like a window next to my door, by my front door, and I wanted privacy, and I was thinking like, how can I make it pretty? So I used a roll of the matte Duralar and cut it out to fit in that window, and then put alcohol ink all over it, and now it's in my window, and it's fantastic. So you can get it by the roll to do big projects too. Kind of like frosted glass or rice paper. Not rice paper because it's plastic, and it's really smooth, but kind of like frosted
I think she's thinking like in
plastic.
terms of like it's the opacity or
Oh,
the
the opacity,
translucency. It's
yeah.
the same. Yeah, it's the same
Sort of,
look
yeah.
to it, but the feel is totally different. Sorry if you
Yes.
heard some crazy noises. My dog knocked over something, and that was the face
That's
I made.
okay.
I was like, "What did he just do?"
That's all right.
It
No big
wasn't
deal.
you. It was, what did my dog just get into?
Yeah, it wasn't me. Another thing, so my friend Kat Kerr, if you know her, she's an amazing artist, and she also works with graphics.
By the way, Kat is
Yeah.
on. She's commenting in the comments.
Oh,
So she's
hi
here with
Kat,
us.
how are you? Oh, I love you so much. Kat is an amazing artist, and she last year, I think it was, she took the sheet, a big sheet or the roll maybe of I'm pretty sure it was the matte Duralar. Tell me if I'm wrong. And she made like a huge stencil out of it. She cut out and she made a huge face, and it's amazing. I got to see it in person when I went to Creativation this year. They had it on display, and it's amazing. So you can do anything. I made a lampshade out of matte Duralar and put little die cut flowers all over it, and it looked amazing. So a couple other things I want to show you real quick. There's so much. I'm sorry. I know we're like short on time, but I could literally sit here for hours. So oh, there's one more thing. What was I going to say? So yes,
I muted myself again.
We
You're
didn't.
fine
Oh,
on time.
sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You're good. You're good.
I know. I'm trying to rush because I want to tell you all the things. But we
Deep
could
breath.
also,
You're good.
if
You're
you
good.
if you have questions later, you can always message me, and I'm happy to do another live another time. Or, if you like have questions about how something specific works, I'm happy to chat with you about it later too. So, the next thing I want to talk about though is the opaque craft plastic, because I use that a lot as well. And that is like, so some people compare it to Yupo, and I'll say that it's similar in that they're both plastic sheets, right? And Yupo you can use like alcohol ink and stuff on, but opaque craft plastic, you can use alcohol ink, you can use it on your gel plate, you can do all the things with it, you can die cut with it, use it with your Cricut, but it's more cost effective, and I think it's better. When Yupo first came out, or I first learned about it, I was using it, but it was like, you can't touch the surface because if you get fingerprints on it, then you'll have fingerprints when you're done. And it was like really fiddly and delicate, and it just wasn't for me. As you can see behind me, I'm a very messy crafter and artist, and I don't have time for that. So when I found opaque craft plastic, I was excited because I can do whatever to it. And it's a plastic sheet. So it's not going to tear or anything. It's very durable. You can make journal covers out of it, and you know that it's not going to break down or anything. I do have a couple, and it comes in 3 colors. So it comes in black, white, and gray. And you can get it, I think, in, ooh, don't quote me on the size. You can definitely get 12 by 12, but you can also get, I don't know if I think this is 9 by 12, but I might be wrong. But anyway, here are the 3 colors it comes in. And again, you can die cut with this. You can, I created some journal pages with it. Let's show you some samples. So this is one I recently did. This is my most recent video. So here I used my stencil that I cut out with my laser cutter, and some paint. This is paint from Royal Talents, and then I just collaged some stuff on top of it. Here is this the black one? Let's see. I think it is. Oh no, this is clear. Sorry. Trying to find a black one. Let's see if I have one in here. The black opaque craft
really
plastic.
Quickly, there's a quick question about links.
Yeah.
And yes, there is a link down in the info section or below the video. Grafix does not sell on their website. They are not a retail store, but they do have a storefront on Amazon. So I have sent the link over to there, so you can go and peruse all of the wonderful Grafix products that they have on their Amazon store. But also go check out your local craft stores, go to Joann's, but you can also do a search for other places. But I did put the Amazon link there. So that just answers that question.
Nice. Yeah. Amazon has a lot of their products. Dick Blick also has a lot of their products. But like I said in the beginning too, if you want to try to find a brick and mortar or something, type in your zip code, go to grafixarts.com and go to how to buy, and then type your zip code in, and it will give you a list of all. I mean, there's tons of stores online, but there might be some stores locally to you as well if you wanted to do that. So definitely do that. Here's a page I did with, this is the black opaque craft plastic, and so you can see this is my stencil here in the background. I use some paint over it, and then can you see the matte Duralar? It just gives it a little bit of a frostiness over it. And then I don't know if you can tell, let's see if I can, oh yeah, can you see there? I used heat embossing, so thermal embossing. So I did embossing powder with this stamp, and then outlined it with a Posca pen. So yeah, you can do,
so it kind of has like a vellum-y look in a way.
Yeah, the matte does. Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah. And then this, I just took a page from a magazine, and then, just splattered some paint. I use my stencils and paint a lot on the opaque craft plastic. It's just really fun, and it's easy, and it's, I have lots of stencil designs, so I like to use them. I'm looking to see my other samples and what else.
If you are painting or watercoloring or doing anything, what is the dry time on the plastic? Because it's not absorbing, it's kind of resting on top and then drying, correct? So
yeah, I mean,
does it take 20 minutes? Does it take 2 minutes? Like, what would be the ballpark, like for, let's just say a heavy body paint, if you're going to use that, what would the dry time be?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I will start with saying it depends where you live, which I always heard people say that, but then I was in New Orleans in March, and I realized that is actually true. It depends on
really
the humidity
humid while we were there
in the air. Yeah. So yeah, it depends. But I'm in Michigan, and I would say for heavy body paint, if I'm just putting it through a stencil, and usually it's fairly thin, so I would say like a minute or 2, like not very long.
Okay.
Alcohol ink, of course, dries faster. Yeah, stamping, ink stamping. Oh, so for stamping, Generally, I use, well, for opaque craft plastic, you can use StazOn or any kind of like solvent ink, something that's good for a non-porous surface. But for the matte Duralar, you can use, I've used like archival ink before, things like that. That'll work. This is matte Duralar and a stamp, one of my old stamps. Where can we get Cassie's stencils? Well, that's a very good question. I do have a website, Cassandra Louise Designs, and I have some stencil designs out there, but I'm sort of in between right now, and I'm ramping up to have more products soon. So you can get some
But
of
you
my
can
designs out
get
there
the
now.
files to make your own stencils. You have them for
So
sale, so you can cut them yourself,
yes.
right?
I do. So I do also have an Etsy store with digital files. So on Etsy, I have journaling prompt cards. I have 4 different sets of journal prompt cards. Those are really popular. And I also have my stencil designs out there as SVGs. So if you wanted to buy them and cut them out yourself with the graphics products and make your own projects, you absolutely can do that. And that's a great idea as well. I also have like some journal SVGs to make a journal, things like that. So yeah, I do have some digital products, and that's Cassie's Parlor on Etsy. I know it's weird, but can they take heat? Yes. So everything I talked about today, the opaque craft plastic, the wet media Duralar, the matte Duralar, that it can all take heat. Yes, it's very, very heat resistant.
And the computer graphics?
Computer graphics, I don't think I've tried to heat it. I haven't tried. It's a good question. You should try it. If I
Something to
try
play
it,
with.
I will let you know. But if you try it, you let us know. Yeah, I don't know if it takes heat or not. That's a good question.
That sounds like another video that you need to make.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. But most of
Like
the
a
things
test
I've
of all the different
used,
products and how much heat they can take and what
yeah,
does take heat and what doesn't. Ooh, that's a video right there.
yeah, that's a good one. The other thing is they have some other clear plastic sheets that are thicker, and it's called, I have it here somewhere. Hold on, let me see. Oh, I didn't even talk about shrink film. Anyway, this is it's called crystal clear craft plastic. Okay, it looks milky because it has a protective coating on it to keep it from getting scratched up, but like I made this, right? So, and you can see it's really thick. So you can make journal covers out of this. You can make stuff to hang on the wall. This is really fun to use also. So, and then the last thing I want to talk about is shrink film, because you got some in your kit. If you got the kit, there's also a class about it, and you can definitely stamp on it. So you got some of the colored, the rainbow colored shrink film, and you can stamp on it. You can draw with permanent markers on it. You can do all that kind of stuff and cut it and shrink it. But I just need to tell you, because I love personalizing and like printing and putting my own art on stuff. So they have a version that's inkjet printable. That is amazing. They have white and clear. So all the choices, they have clear, white, metallic, like gold and silver, rainbow, black, I think. I hope I'm not missing any. But then they also have clear and white inkjet printable. And I love that because I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago for Creativation, I was doing demos for them, and I made a bunch of, I printed out a bunch of graphics from my computer, and then shrunk them down and made little pins out of them so everybody could have pins to wear. And it's just so easy and fun to do. You could, again, print your photographs on it, print your art, whatever, and really customize any project that you're making with a little shrink charm or something. I made a cat made jewelry out of it. I think she made a bracelet. Other people have made earrings. Like, you can do everything with the shrink film. That looks thick enough to make boxes out of. Yeah. Oh, yes. This stuff. Yes, definitely. I mean, it is like here, like it's super thick. Yes. Yeah, you can definitely make boxes out of that. Good idea, Susan. Oh, Erin, you're on mute.
Of course I am.
I saw your hands
There's
moving. I'm like,
noises
oh,
in the back. I'm like, can I do this? Yeah, it's the
yeah,
second time. I keep forgetting I
yeah,
put myself. Yeah, I know. And everybody's like, you're
it's all
muted,
good.
Erin. I'm like, it's the story of my life today. Can you score that heavier craft plastic? Therefore, can it bend to make the turn of a box So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't tried to make a box out of it. I bet you can. I think you'd have to go over it a few times. It's pretty thick, but I've only ever used it to make wall art. But again, another thing you could try. Can you sign that again? Oh, yeah.
It's the
Yeah,
box that folds
yes.
over.
Box. That's hilarious.
Ah, you never
Yeah.
know what you're going to get in our lives. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, so here's some matte Duralar with some alcohol ink on one side, and then I stamped on the other side, but you can see it through, right? Isn't that cool? This is the Hero Art stamp, by the way. It's amazing. Oh my gosh, we didn't even talk about Frisket film. Okay, I know we're almost done here, but Frisket film is also amazing, and I think I have some here. Yes, I do. So they have the Frisket, the liquid Frisket, which I think lots of people probably maybe have used before, and it's a liquid version, and you can draw with it and do whatever you want. You let it dry, and then you work on top of it, and then you kind of rub it off or use an adhesive eraser to take it off, and it preserves what's underneath, which is fantastic. But they also make it in a film version, so you don't have to wait for it to dry, because I'm very impatient and I just want to make fun shapes. So I've used this a million times to and I'll cut out like random wonky like circle shapes or whatever, and then I put them down. So this is on the white opaque craft plastic. So where this empty space is, I put Frisket foam down, and then I went over it with alcohol ink over the whole top, and then I peel. It's like a little sticker, but it's very thin, and then I peel that off, and then whatever was underneath was preserved, so you can make a fun pattern. And then this I think is wet media Duralar, and I just stamped on it, and then I made a layered bookmark like that. So yeah, you can do anything. You could use this for cards if you're a card maker. You can use it for that. You can use it for home decor. I'm trying to find other samples. Here's a gray one if you want to see how the gray looks. So again, I just made kind of rectangles that time, and I did a couple layers, as you can see, the different colors, and then used the Frisket film for that. So it's endless, endless. I could sit here for 5 hours, tell you all the fun things, but just know
We
that
don't
you can
have
use
5
all the
hours, but
products with it. And if you have more questions, you can find me anywhere on social media. I'm happy to chat with you or whatever. And also go to Graphic Arts on YouTube, go to Cassandra Louise Designs on YouTube. We've got lots of video tutorials out there showing you different ways to use it. It's amazing. And if you have a local independent craft store and they don't have graphics products, you need to tell them to get it, and then tell them they need to call me so I can come and teach you, because we could do a whole weekend class on just graphic stuff. It's just so amazing. Anyway, that's my spiel.
and also if you have any questions, we have a Facebook group that's all parts of the retreat,
Yeah.
and Cassie is in the Facebook group. So please feel free to jump in there, and that is open for anybody to be part of that Facebook group. Just
right.
make sure you're answering the questions. That way I know you're not some computer bot that's wanting to come in and spam. But yeah, drop the questions in there, ask questions, and all of us would be happy to help. But Cassie is definitely like the guru and the all-knowing of all things graphics products. I've played with a lot of them, and I actually do have a class in the retreat with the colored shrink film. We're making charms and just using, a permanent marker pen and having all kinds of fun making fun charms for our journals that you could add onto your tassels or add on to all the kinds of stuff. And but that's just the tip of the iceberg. As you well saw, Cassie's all of her amazing products that she showed with graphics. But she is using, you've got craft plastic in your gel class, your gel print class. You've got the graphics, computer clear graphics. Then you also have the stickable adhesive computer graphics in your mini journal. So we actually have 4 different graphics products in the entirety of the retreat that you get to play with and kind of feel what the gist of it is and get some ideas for that. So yay.
Yes. Yes, it is amazing. Yeah. And I said this in the very beginning, but this is also just one last thing I want to say that's super important to me, and the reason I love working with them, other than the fact that the products are amazing. I know the people that run it and own it and work it, and they are also amazing. It's a family-owned company, and they're just really incredible people, and I love supporting that. So it's another reason to go out and get some graphics products and play with it and tell me what you think and share your projects because I want to see all of it. So Frisket is like a masking paper. Yes, it is, but it's nice and thin. If you're going to use it like in a journal or whatever, they have two different kinds of the film. This one with the green packaging, this is called matte Frisket film. This is the one I recommend. They have another version that has a red, I don't have it close to me, but it has a red cover, and that is more for like airbrushing. It's even thinner and it's a little bit harder to work with if you're like peeling and trying to stick and stuff. So get the green one if you're just going to use it by hand, and you're not, if you're airbrushing, get the red one. And then yes, and this too you can cut out of your Cricut if you want, if you need to make a precise, or you can die cut with it or whatever and use it as a mask. Exactly. And then a really cool thing that you can do, they have these oops, this is the, I said that was the last thing and then it wasn't. Oh, there's one more thing. Hold on. Where'd it go? Maybe it is. I can't find it now.
Of
Darn
course,
it.
I muted again.
I have
Ah.
all the things around here. But anyway, they also have inking palettes that you can use, and then I keep them. Anyway, you once you peel off your Frisket film and it has like all of your paint or alcohol ink or whatever, then don't throw it away. Put it in your journal. Use it as ephemera on a journal page because it's gold. It's gold. What's the page name?
I think we're referring to the Facebook page, and down in the info
Okay.
section of this video, there's giveaways, there's the schedule, and that jumps you over to the retreat landing pages. And up there's a link to join our Facebook group. So that's how you can go and find our Facebook group. It's on the retreat website, and the links for those are down below. There's to get yourself a ticket, which there's still tickets available, so you can join. And we were actually chit-chatting about this. There is one kit left. And
Oh my
I
gosh.
wanted to let people know. I know, I cannot believe, I'm so excited.
Whoa.
There are some people that have already bought a pass for the retreat, but they were like, well, what if I want to buy the kit now? I want to get all the stuff. Email me. You can email me at right here, right there. And therefore we can talk. And basically I'm going to give you the discounted rate of what you already purchased towards the ticket. And that's going to be deducted from the kit rate because the kit included the pass to come into the event. So I'm not going to make you pay for the event twice. I've had a couple of questions about that, but there's one kit left. So it's first come, first serve. And I have not looked at my sales since we've been live for the past like 2-3 hours. For all I know, it could be sold. But if you see it for sale in the site, then it's still for sale. Oh
my goodness.
We'll find out.
That's amazing.
It is
One
exciting.
Kit. Well,
exciting
congratulations
stuff.
to everyone that got kits, because seriously, there's so much good stuff in there. And, you know, these classes have been fantastic. I'm just really loving all of the variety and all of the great products and all the sponsors. You know, the sponsors have been really fantastic as well. And just like really grateful for all of that love and support from everybody. Yay.
There's a question on, do I ship to Canada? I do. I do not have it set for Canadian shipping prices right now, so I will have to charge you more to ship that kit to Canada if there is a kit left. So again, email me down below and we can have a chit chat about that, because I had it defaulted to USA only, but we can definitely work something out. Don't worry. So easy fix. Not a concern about that. And there was one last final question, and then we're going to wrap it up. And somebody asked about one of your mini journal classes, and Cassie is live tomorrow with her gel print class. So I'm going to have you hold off any specific questions dealing with any of her classes, products in there, things specifically relating to the classes itself. Those are retreat questions, and you can ask those questions with Cassie live in her class tomorrow. So
for sure.
There we go.
Yeah.
Answer that question.
Yeah,
If
tomorrow
they're
I'll be
class-specific
live.
questions, that's when you're going to ask them as while we're
teaching
teaching the classes.
the gel play class. So if you have questions about any of my classes from the whole week, I know my other ones are pre-recorded, but you know, bring them to the gel play class and I'll answer all the questions. Or if you have more questions about graphics, even just bring me any questions you have. I love questions because then we can explore and discover the answer together, or I can help you figure it out, and it just helps us grow and be amazing. So yeah, bring them all. I'm very excited for tomorrow. It's going to be fun. I can't wait.
It is going to be a ton of fun. All right, we're
Yeah.
going to wrap it up. But just for those of you that are ready for the next event, in about 20 minutes, I am live in the retreat classroom. We have our next live class, and we're going to be playing with sublimation. So, any questions you have about sublimation, that is our next retreat class. So, you have to have a paying ticket in order to get in. But I need to get set up and get ready for my class. So, thank you so much, Cassie, for jumping on
Yeah.
and talking about Grafix. So such an amazing company and such amazing products, and bringing it to the retreat and having all the fun products that we can play with and showing so many different types of it. And yeah, it's just, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you to Grafix for sponsoring and donating the products and just, being amazing always, and thanks to Erin
Absolutely.
for this live for us to talk about it. It's really
I love
great,
it. We
so,
both had
yeah,
to itch
thank you so
ourselves at the
much.
same time. I did my nose. She did her cheek. Okay. Anybody else itching themselves right now? Because we just did it. It was like one of those Pavlov's laws. All right. Have an amazing day, everybody. I'll be live in about 20 minutes with our sublimation, as long as you have a retreat ticket. And we will see you for our last live for everybody to come and watch. We are live with Sizzix and Eileen Hull, talking about all fun things Sizzix and Eileen and her products with Sizzix. And that is
That's
at 3
amazing.
p.m. Central. And that anybody can come and watch that video. So if you're
Nice.
looking for what the schedule is, go check out the schedule page that is down below in the info section. But for now, we are signing off.
All right, bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.